Welcome. I am Ron Austin with Southern Arizona Independent Justice Media, and we have an interview with Naomi Vega of the Enlightening Hope Project. So, Naomi, tell us what the Enlightening Hope Project is about.
Sure. What we are about is we are a nonprofit group of volunteers assisting individuals that are currently suffering from mental illness and substance abuse addiction, and also families that are grieving the loss of a loved one. And as you know, most individuals that are addicted to substance abuse most are homeless. So we provide resources and tools and cover a particular gap, immediate need for them if they need food or hygiene or socks, whatever it may be. But that's what we do. Um, that's it in a nutshell.
You also serve in the parks.
Yes. We go out. We've been going out every other weekend to Santa Rita Park. That's the area that we're dedicating the target for right now because there are other parks and other areas that there are more homeless individuals, but that one is more. It's a little bit easier to manage and connect with more individuals versus traveling and walking on the streets.
What prompted you to start this endeavor?
Well, what prompted me to start it, and I've always had a passion for people living on the streets because I've struggled as a single mom growing with my kids. But what happened was in 2020, my son died of an overdose, and it was very public. Unfortunately, he was due to his lifestyle, he was homeless most of the time. So rather than sit and do a deep dive into that rabbit hole and continue to be in a dark place, hence the name, the Enlightening Hope, was to drag myself out of that pit and give people hope and enlighten them and let them know there is recovery is possible. Not everybody has to die. Um, could I and would I wanted to save my son? Sure. I mean, he was my son. But I have to be realistic and know that not everybody is gonna die. Not everybody is gonna survive. So I just, as long as I do one person at a time, and the people that assist me are in the same passion and the same boat of trying to help people versus judging them.
Do you have volunteers to assist you?
So they're all volunteers. I have my daughter, who is the co-founder of the Enlightening Hope Project. She was very close to her brother. My other daughter, his other sister, his younger sister, because he was the oldest. My sister that does a lot of the marketing, and then I have two or three, excuse me, three certified recovery support specialists that volunteer their time, and then I have one individual who does the public ministry, like the ministry portion of it. I do want to segue and say that we, even though most of us do have our beliefs, we don't. That's not a component of the project. That's something if they wish to seek something further, then we'll go ahead and give them those resources. But that's not what we do. We're here on a non-judgmental, non-denominational type of level to help people get what they need so that they can get by even just for that moment.
Do you collaborate with other agencies and entities?
Yes, yes, I do. So I do. We do a lot of collaboration with Pima County, with local agencies like Kodak, CMS. Also work with Liberty Park, Keno. Yeah, community medical services, and also work with Liberty Park Keno Neighborhood Coalition. It's LPKNC. And they work with a lot of the youth in that particular area, like the Liberty Park Keno area. So I try to do a lot of collaboration with people because it's true to the old adage, you can't raise, you have to, it takes a village to raise people, and it takes a community that joins together to instill change and push back those barriers.
Do you collaborate with other agencies and entities?
Oh, glad you asked. So last year, and that's how we kind of came up on the map, was I had to make a mission of providing education into the community. So we chose the International Overdose Awareness Day to write up a proclamation that was signed into the the Pima County Board of Directors. And I sought out the community, to see who wanted to be a part of that. So community medical services, COPE, Kodak, they all participated in the event to provide resources, Narcan kits. I continuously touch base with them if I have anybody that needs services, and I say, and that's what we do. We triage them and ask, hey, where have you been? What are your barriers? What facility or agency would you not want to go to, and why? And my whole purpose for it is to try and get data. And then when I go to the collaborative meetings, I provide that data to them and I'll let them know, look, these are the barriers. This is what we need. This is what we're seeing. And, I've had a couple good set of people that, have gone through Kodak and have gone through CMS. And I'm not trying not to give anybody a limit. I say, look, this is your list of individual places you can go to for this, this, and that. This isn't a drop-off facility. You need to be triaged with them first. We're not a set of counselors, although I am looking for someone that would like to be put on the website so that we can send people directly to them. But that's basically it, and do a lot of understanding, especially with mothers and parents and sisters and brothers that have lost their loved one, because it's hard because you've lost them physically, but you lost them way before in their addiction. So you're dealing with a long time set of PTSD and then guilt and all that stuff. So yeah.
How many people do you serve?
As far as people or volunteers, you want both? Uh, so we typically serve every 2 weeks, probably about 50 people. There's potentially more because a lot of individuals are, there's a lot of people that don't. There's mistrust. People said they're going to help, but then they don't maintain their consistency, which is why we go out every 2 weeks. I was going to do it every weekend, but unfortunately, as a nonprofit, you really don't make money. So a lot of the stuff, we pay for out of our pocket, ask for donations, whatever the case may be. So I'm trying to implement this project into the community to help people understand that, yes, seeing someone homeless and seeing someone addicted is not a pretty sight, but they're still a person. That's just a shell of who they are. So if you can help us by letting them see there's empathy and there's people that care about them and we care that they survive, then that may push, one or two people, three people, four people to seek services. And then in turn our community into the way we want to see it. So we're getting there.
Is your group a nonprofit?
Yes, we are. Yeah, it took a good probably. I mean, I filed in May and then they finally approved it in November due to COVID. So I actually got my IRS forms first, and then I had to read all the legal stuff and go through all that stuff to figure out what am I doing that's right or wrong, and I want to make sure it's right.
Do you need more volunteers?
I need more people that want to be involved in more events because I think there's more that we can do as far as like and I there was a church group that we met up out there that we are collaborating with and another mobile group. Like I have no barriers about collaborating with people, none whatsoever. Although I do let people know, look, this is who we are. I know our missions kind of align in different aspects and different perspectives, but we aren't going to go out there and shove this down someone's throat, or we're not going to give them a limitation and say, you can't come and eat because you're this. The only barrier or the only kind of thing that we do is you can't actively use in front of us, because I just strongly believe in for a moment, let's see who you truly are. I'll sit down with you. I'll give you a hug. I don't care about, you haven't bathed in 10 days. That doesn't matter to me. You're still a person. So we do, when we get the funds, get hygiene packs to take out to individuals, and they're so happy. They're like, "Can you bring some more?" And they're sitting in the windows trying to shave and do whatever it is they need to do. Um, but if we can get more people, even just donating resources, I have a whole living room table set up that I put stuff on there when I'm able. So yeah.
Do you have a website?
Well, we do have a website. It's www.enlighteninghopproject.com. There's a contact form. We're also on Facebook, Enlightening Hope Project. If you just do a search for Tucson, you can find that. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. I'm not too big about the Instagram and Twitter. My kids do that. They're more into that world. However, they can also call me or send me a message. My number is on the website, but I'll also give it to you. It's 520-543-0023. And any form anybody asks to volunteer, if they want to volunteer to do flyers, or they want to volunteer to, can we help you, make blankets, or we're going to donate anything, dog food. We did have a lady come and drop off a big old black bag of dog food, and I broke it down into little Ziploc bags because homeless individuals, they're mobile, so you're not going to give them something really big. I'm trying to instill and implement back how the Carlos Figueroa Foundation did the backpack challenge, but put stuff in there that they need, but also resource paper, so that if they're ready to get services and they need crisis services, this is where you need to call. Throw a Narcan kit in there in case they need it, or they have a friend that needs it. So those kinds of things is just the same concept, but a little bit different, to match what our mission is.
So you actually need more people to volunteer to serve your mission, don't you?
That is correct. That is correct. They want to help. It's kind of hard to have a mission and a project, and you only have a couple people that are actively participating. Um, yeah, it is, and a lot of times I can't do all of that. So I try to. I know my daughters always try to do as much as they can, and my sister, and other people have jobs and whatnot. So anybody that wants to volunteer, anybody that just wants to take a phone call, if you want to hear somebody, I do have a plan of getting one. I had one dedicated phone, and I was going to hand it around to a person, basically kind of having like an advocate of the day, like a peer support person for the day. And for a couple, weeks, it's your turn. If anybody calls you, see what they need. Let's triage it, and then we'll go ahead and see what we can do moving forward. That way, there was always someone answering the phone. That kind of didn't set well with everybody because they didn't want to be responsible for the phone. But I mean, I think it's a great idea. Everybody has great plans. We're just trying to figure it out still.
In closing our interview with you, Naomi, is there anything you want our viewers to know?
Um, what I would like for people to know are a couple things. One, um, talk to your loved ones, whether they're in their 30s or their preteens or whatever, and let them know that it's not. There's a lot of drugs on the street where traditionally, I'm not justifying any drug use, but traditionally weren't as bad as they are right now. There's a lot of fentanyl in marijuana. There's a lot of fentanyl in vapes. There's a lot of fentanyl everywhere, and they're getting caught every day. And that's the one emergent thing that I want to put out there. But the secondary would be the next time you see somebody. I'm going to be realistic, and I want people to be realistic. It doesn't mean everybody's good. There are bad people, but just and for that moment, just look at them and remember that person is someone's son, daughter, brother, sister, mom, dad. Um, and if you ever want to help us, please give me a call. We'll take water. We'll take anything. Old socks, as long as they don't have holes in them. old clothes, blankets, anything, because we'll take it out and we'll deliver it. And if we can't deliver it at the park, we'll take it to other places when we drive around.